Hi, and welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and it's another cold one here in Oklahoma. So we're all bundled up. It's Woo Wednesday, though. So you guys grab all the woo in your brain. Get ready for a great day. My buddy Public Awakening is going to join us. He's been out working hard today, and we're going to catch him up on what's going on in the world. Be right back. Hey there, Public. How are you?
How are you? I am tired. And let me just say, that was such a classy way of saying Jason didn't get to look at anything today because he was far too busy, and we're just going to wing it. I love it.
Well, and then I started thinking well, I've been homeschooling all morning, so
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at too much stuff, but I'm always looking at something. I did just think of something. We were looking at kind of what's going on in California. There's so much noise about Canada, which is great. And I'm excited about what's going on in Canada. And now, we're seeing the trucker stuff happening in the US. Actually, my husband was put in Facebook jail for posting that Ted Nugent video that we were in. Ted Nugent took the Liberty Lantern video.
Yep. And I saw you a little 1 millionth of a second clip.
Yes,
fame
to claim, claim to fame. Yeah, I was in a Ted Nugent rock video. Yeah,
not many people can say that. I'm telling you, that's pretty cool.
But we, so they put him in Facebook jail for sharing that video. It was super weird. Anyway, bizarre land.
That is all.
But back to California. So we're talking about, making plans. I really want to get out to one of Bix's shows, trying to figure out which one to go to. Westwood and I are talking. My sweet friend, Ledger Gypsy, and I are talking, trying to figure out. And I was like, oh, well, we'll go to LA because they lifted the mask thing for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, like that's a true statement, right?
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah. No, she's like, no, they didn't. And my Charlie watched something where they're like, somebody was there and they're like, everybody that like lives and works there is like, no, they didn't. You still have to wear one. All this. And so then I go start looking it up, and they're like, even on those, little Snopes and fact finder things and whatever, they're like, nope, it's false.
The authorities. Yes.
The authorities. So is that another one of those Mandela effect things, or did they change history?
Or did they just put out
there was a whole announcement that the governor removed the mask mandate before the Super Bowl.
So now let's just say that that's possibly just maybe an exercise in social programming. Maybe a news outlet or two ran a story that said that it's going to happen, and people picked up on it and started talking about it. And then there were stories or reports about the news report that said it's going to happen. And then it just made it look like it was going to be real, but just never did it. And then maybe it was just never true from the beginning. I don't know. I remember hearing something about it, but I don't remember hearing from any source. Like, I think you said it, but like we didn't go back and see who actually, or if it was real. We never fact checked it. I don't know. I would say maybe that's some type of exercise in social programming and in saying something and putting out a misinformation out there. So people believe it's true, and it actually just never was true and never was happening to begin with. Maybe. I mean, I remember hearing a lot of people talking about it. I don't remember seeing a lot of it from any sources that would, have the real scoop.
Because our little Ledger Gypsy is a CPA, so she's very organized and it's all about the details and the facts and the whatever. So I'm like, no, we can go to LA, it'll be great. And she's like, And I said, there's no masks there, because they released it for the Super Bowl. And she's like, "Ding, ding, ding." She sends me links and screenshots and whatever. And I'm like, what? And then I'm thinking like, well, maybe I'm crazy. I swear I heard that the governor, and then I go to look it up, and the only thing I can find is mom says a private corporation can still demand masks even if the governor says no. Yes. So, and I agree with that. That's true. But I go back and I cannot find where the governor made the statement to remove the mask mandate for California now in the news. I can't find it. But I found pictures of the governor and like Shaq or somebody taking a picture with no mask on.
There were a lot of pictures at the Super Bowl with, people didn't have their masks on. I saw, in fact, I don't recall seeing one celebrity, quote unquote, person with one on, the whole time. So you actually remember hearing it from the governor or something, seeing some type
that
of
it was
presser or something?
Some kind of announcement. Yeah. I'm always looking at news. And so
maybe try the DuckDuckGo. Maybe that'll have
okay.
a little better.
I'll try that.
Because sometimes when I know I saw something and I can't find it, and sometimes it'll show up there. I'm just looking to see what New York's is here. I haven't seen it yet. So it's expired in New York City. I'm reading here an article on February 9th, 2022. Governor Kathy Hochul announced that the statewide indoor mask mandate will expire Friday the 10th. And we have the schools expiring here in another March, 11th or so, 9th, something like that.
So this says that Hollywood superstars who've been vocal in their support for mask policy chose to ignore it at the stadium. Under California's current rules, masks must be worn as inside private box at the stadium.
Well, if you want to get your funding, you got to play by their rules. Just like somebody just mentioned, I forgot who it was that said, I think it was Nana said, a private organization or a private company or a private business can say this is our rules if you want to come in our store. If you want to go in that store and get your favorite dinner or get your groceries that you want without driving across to the other side of town, you got to play by the rules. And I think that's what a lot of these organizations are. A lot of the businesses, especially the schools, if you don't play by their rules as far as all that stuff goes, you don't get your funding. And that was made very clear about a year ago. I read a lot of long articles and they went into detail and they said, this is the state funding that will be cut. And basically the governor, I don't want to mince the words, but basically the governor of New Jersey was like, if you don't follow these mandates that we put in, then, basically you'll lose your funding.
Which I get private businesses, no shoes, no shirt, no service. It's your business, whatever. But very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was like I was losing my mind or it was a woo-woo moment. So I wanted to run that past you. It's one or the other.
Well, maybe they did. And it's not, as we all know, it's not very difficult these days to make something you want disappear offline, whether it be a person or an article or events or whatever you want. They can make anything disappear really quickly. I don't know, though.
Definitely.
I don't know what to tell you.
Whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I shared a couple of videos for my Patreon. Did you ever watch the Disclosure Part 1?
Was it the aliens one?
Yes. Well, it's not the George one. It's this guy. And he's talking about tunnels and little people and earthquakes. And have you ever heard of this organization?
What's it called?
The LTS?
No, not that I'm aware of.
they're the good guys, basically, but they do like a lot of like spiritual warfare kind of stuff.
I am not
This is
familiar with that organization.
part 2 that was released on Mom's birthday, on Nana's birthday. Happy birthday again, Nana. Yesterday
Happy
was
birthday,
her birthday.
Nina. Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. I told
She
you.
was 2222 was Nana's birthday.
My great grandmother's birthday was the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
a good day. Happy birthday.
Good company. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this part 2 of this interview, I shared part 1 for my Patreon, I don't know, a week ago or so. And then, yes, and Tom was so sweet. He found the Litecoin wallet that Johnny had set up for Nana when Papa passed. And he went and sent Nana a little Litecoin for her birthday, which was very sweet. Thank you, Tom.
Yay.
That was very sweet.
That is sweet. What an awesome community. I'll tell you what, Tom is everywhere. Tom is I know I am certainly very thankful that Tom is a part of this community. He's been a steadfast, helper in every possibly way, a friend. Just really, really nice to call Tom a friend for some time.
Definitely.
For some
Lots
time.
of good people. Lots of good people.
Not to mention everyone else, Jim, everyone else. But I'm just throwing Tom a kudos because he's earned that. He's everywhere we are, and it's certainly much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. This guy, and this guy is the interviewer, the one you're seeing on the screen right here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's interviewing this other guy like in a hoodie, and you can't see him. He even has gloves on. You can't identify him. They have his voice changed, the whole bit. But and he talks about us eventually, and I think he says within the next 170, and then he says not in my lifetime, but maybe in your lifetime, when he's talking to the interviewer, that we are going to come to he says a one world, but he has a language barrier, so he's using the wrong words, which the guy kind of, and they put a little thing up there like, now remember when he says one world government, he's not talking about like in a dark way. He's saying it in a positive way. He's saying we'll come together as one.
Right.
And he says like religion will be gone. There'll be, if you want to call it religion, it will be love. And we'll understand that we're all connected to each other. And so that we are speaking of community and what a great community we have. Like everybody in the chat that I love so much, that we will understand how our actions affect our brother, our neighbor, and our actions to our neighbor and our brother and sister affect ourselves as well. And how closely we're all connected to everyone all over the world. And so that will kind of change our behavior.
Mm-hmm. You mean compassion? We'll have compassion for one another?
Yes.
Yikes.
Significant compassion. And this kind of goes in the same mindset that Amy and I talked about, and I think we are headed that direction. Amy and I talked about it yesterday, where when you and I met and we started talking about Nasera, Jacera, you were introducing me to these ideas that I'd never heard of. And a lot of it was about this constitutional education. And I really grabbed onto the constitutional education of America. And then I kept seeing it play out, as these different issues were coming up and we're facing these things. And I was like, oh, look, that's teaching people about this part of the Constitution. That's teaching people about that part of the Constitution.
Right.
But because I'm an American, we are so America egocentric. I missed such a huge part of it. And I think that's where this Canada piece, seeing them, people are calling them patriots, which is all, once again, because I'm a big, fat, lazy, egocentric American. I apologize. I've always put that term with just Americans as a patriot, but you're seeing that heart and that word, that movement now becoming more thought of in a global way, but in a really healthy global way.
Right.
When we used to talk about the globalists, that was always a negative thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But now there's this light movement and this patriot movement that isn't just the US. Now Canadians are patriots, and it's the Constitution. And I had this conversation with Amy. I said, and that's the awakening or the awareness, because if we are educated, then the Constitution is based on the Magna Carta. And the history of the Magna Carta is that the Magna Carta was based or written based on our God-given rights.
Mm-hmm.
And if we truly understood our God-given rights and who we came from, who we are part of, how empowering that would be enlightenment.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Understood that you and your brothers and sisters and your neighbors are children of God, that you are part of God, the universe, then we really would be. Like, if we really could understand and grasp that, we really would reach that enlightenment.
That's that link, I think that's a great example. That's that link that they've taken from us. Right. That could be, right? It could be the only thing that we're missing. Is just that
Mom says just family. They stole our family from us.
We all used to be family. Many, many, many years and years ago, we all used to be family, and our community was just as important as our individual selves, because we wouldn't survive without a community. Maybe we couldn't get food on our own, or we couldn't get building materials on our own, or we couldn't keep warm on our own, or we couldn't hunt on our own. So we needed community. That's a really great, that's a really cool way to look at it. I do remember, when this first started in Canada, and hearing, well, actually more reading, because I don't ever watch regular news, but reading articles and watching podcasts and hearing people call them Canadian patriots. I'm like, patriots are American. And then you're right. I'm like, that's right. So that's that joining spark, maybe again. I was like, boom, that's that joining spark there. That's oh, hey, wait a second. They're not just the big brother Canada, up north anymore with a bunch of pushovers. These are guys who are, just like us. Wait, he said patriot. I'm a patriot. Well, this is, right. I think it could even be so much more than just the act of that. I think you're right. I think it's building those ties and those bonds back against people, all over the world, because I don't think it's going to stop. I know you mentioned earlier about the trucker thing here in the United States. And I watched stuff when I'm like falling asleep at night, so I don't remember exactly what I'm watching. But I just watched something not that long ago. It was a guy, I think it was on Instagram, and he was saying how he pulled the permits for this for the National Mall, and so they could go and do this rally there for the truckers. So he said they're all heading. It was I wish I could find it. Maybe I'll take a minute and find it.
Okay.
He was very eloquent, saying about what the truckers' route is going to be. They already have whatever they have to do. They have all the permits they need. They have their direct route lined out. They have alternate routes lined out. It seems extremely organized. The guy was very well spoken, and it was all about coming here, being peaceful, being law abiding, causing no trouble, and coming out of love, and ending things that we don't like. But it was the free
Leader says he thinks it's on Uncle Cliff's Twitter. I'll go look real quick.
That might be it. Yeah, thanks, Leader. It was really great. It was like something I haven't seen. I said, wait a second, this is organized? Because I didn't think of the thing in Canada as being organized. I thought it was just like Woodstock. Everybody just kind of joined in once they heard about it and kind of made their way, to the Capitol. But this was like a whole thought out, planned out, plan. Maybe it was on Cliff's thing. I know I watched it somewhere. Again, I forget where I watched it. Let me just take a second if I could try and look real quick. I got to remember the name. He said it was like, he had an acronym for the name, the group.
Yeah, I don't see it. But maybe it was a while ago.
Something Convoy might have been.
This
Here's one.
freedom, human rights. Here it is. Maybe this is it. Federally incorporated, not for profit, meaning the federal government approved its status and go after any
Yes, that's it.
donors.
I believe that's it. Freedom Convoy 2022. I believe that's it.
The Freedom 2022 Human Rights Freedoms is a federally incorporated, not-for-profit, meaning federal government approved its status to then go after any donors. Oh, that's talking about Canada, though. Sorry.
Let me see. I'm just seeing something like The Guardian is posting a thing. Let me see if I could just pull the name out. Group calling itself the People's Convoy. That wasn't it. You know what? There might be several different of these groups pulling together, but I'm telling you, the one I saw, it was just
yeah, I had a little I have a little screen share of the let me find it real quick because I have a
if anybody knows in the
screen
chat,
share of the
send it to us. Let us know. Send us a message.
well, it was a graphic of like their path or whatever, but I don't know if it was accurate. It looked pretty accurate. It was going down I-40 through Oklahoma. I don't see it.
I'm just going to look on that one. Freedom. Here, I found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
Where are you sending it to me?
Let me make sure
March
this is
1st in time for your State of the Union address.
Yep, this is it. This is the one I saw. Thank God. That's awesome. All right, let me just figure out how to send it quick.
I would say we can hear it from your phone if you want to.
Save, copy link. Where should I send it to?
I don't know. You can text it to me. It just takes me a minute.
Okay.
And my phone's about to die because I've been up since 4 or 3:30.
All right, there you go. I just sent it. If it doesn't work, the guy's name is Steve Chavez.
No, because I can't pull it up on my computer. I have to send it to myself through my phone, then put it to my computer, then pull it up.
God bless technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, honestly, it could be worse. You know, we're like complaining about these, you know, the troubles of technologies lately. See how fast that is, though? You gotta love it. You gotta love this brain rot that's our personal little microchips. I'm never gonna get a microchip. Yeah, we already have them. They're in our pockets. They know everything about us. They know whether we're sleeping. They know where we go. They know what time we take a pee. They know everything. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hold on, I'll just take my... And it muted me. Let's see here. What does he have to say?
My name is Kyle Sepchik of the Freedom Convoy USA 2022, and our routes meet here in DC on March 1st in time for your State of the Union address. We are very organized, and our routes are public. I even pulled a permit for the National Mall to be respectful. I just want to be as transparent as possible from the start so there's no confusion. We are coming peacefully, and we're going to do this lawfully and constitutionally. I want the rest of the world to know our plans so that there's no twisting and lying about who and what we are. I'm coming to you as a father, a small business owner who's unaffiliated to any parties. We just want government overreach to end. On behalf of Freedom Convoy USA 2022, we are asking you to end the state of emergency, end the mandates once and for all. Sir, the world is watching us because they know that if what's happening in Canada happens to us here in the land of the free, then freedom as we know it is gone. So we are leaving the choice to you. The decision is in your hands. This whole convoy, this whole assembly on the National Mall, it doesn't even have to happen if you just end things now and we can get on with our lives.
Sounds fair to me.
Mm-hmm. You cut it off at the perfect time, because right at the end he starts talking about what, maybe things we maybe shouldn't mention here if you like.
Oh no, that's just all
I
it
love
was.
to be on your
It was
channel.
only 1 minute long.
Oh, okay. So they cut it on both ends. The clip I saw, he was addressing Mr. Biden, and he says, "This is a message to, Mr. Biden." And then at the end, he went into exactly what he would like to see, which it's curious why the video was cut right there, but it was basically ending the mandates, and but a little more explained.
Interesting. So there was a friend of mine, well, SL, sent me some stuff. It's interesting because I'm seeing a lot of old, and she's into crypto, but not really into anything political at all. But she knows that I'm interested in some stuff. So she's
way out there stuff.
Hey, I heard this on one platform. So she sent something over, and I'm seeing it more and more on other things. And there's old number 17 stuff floating up again. And like they were talking about, the 10 days again, which then I got on, Uncle Cliff shared some stuff that led you down a rabbit hole to a group that I'm on. And they explained that the 10 days is actually when you're arrested in the military, that they don't give you like the reason you're arrested or something, or your full charges or something. And so that's what the 10 days of darkness actually are, is that you can be detained for 10 days without having like the full information or having your charges read to you or something like that.
Okay.
But we are hearing also that Blackface Hitler might shut down the internet on in his area. But then I also heard that he was going to step down today, and that
they are, there's let's not forget, if we want to get woo-woo-y on this, it wasn't more than 2 or 3 weeks ago we hadn't heard or seen from the guy in quite some time, during all of the things in Parliament when he was supposed to be there, or this and that, and he was hiding in somebody's basement or something, and who knows, but for some time we didn't even hear the guy. So now when he steps out and he starts doing all this, I don't know, is it even him?
No, he looks much chubbier now.
Well, he just spent, how many weeks in the basement eating
Well,
Twinkies
okay,
and,
all right,
Spam.
all right. It's his COVID chub. Yeah,
it's I don't. I've said it a million times. The one thing I certainly know now is to not put anything at all past what could be reality. As crazy as it sounds, we've certainly found out some things in the last few years that 5 or 6 years ago either one of us would have been like, you're out of your mind, you're not my friend anymore, I'm gone, right?
Yes. Let's see, there was a promoted tweet and it said, click here to, oh, here it is. It says, click here to hear Amanda Seyfried's transformed into Elizabeth Holmes and want to hear Amanda Seyfried transforms into Elizabeth Holmes and do the infamous voice. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm guessing that they're starting to maybe show people how they change their voices or whatever.
Yeah, you would have, you can't tell these days.
Why are they not putting any voice on this?
You literally can't tell.
Tap your finger.
What's real.
Why is it not having any sound?
It doesn't like us. Maybe it's on your headphones.
No, because I would hear you.
No.
Hear you. And hear the infamous voice. Drop out.
Very strange.
Why is it not changing her voice or making her talk.
Can you expand it? Sometimes if you expand the player, it'll mess with something. There you go.
Nope.
Bummer.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Sorry, I digress.
I've digressed.
Mhm.
I did, speaking of that conspiracy stuff that we love so much.
Yeah.
I saw I believe it was an Instagram earlier this morning from Trump Jr. And he was talking about somebody who was just arrested and was in jail in association with the Maxwell thing. And he was one of the bad guys. And it was 2 or 3 days earlier where Trump Jr. said something like, let's see how this conspiracy theory plays out. I think he'll be Epsteining himself or something within 48 hours. And then, like today, he literally, the guy had done the same thing.
Yeah, that happened a couple days ago. Yeah,
so Trump's thing disappeared. I can't find it.
Yeah, it happened a couple days ago. It's a
see, I'm a little behind.
Well, you started a new job. You're a busy boy.
And honestly, he's got so many accounts, I don't even know which one I watched it on.
Yeah, that was so that was right after the deal was struck with Virginia, what's her name, and Prince Andrew. She got $15 billion or $1 million or whatever. And then his best friend or buddy was offed in jail. And guess what? The cameras were broken in his cell too.
Yeah, that's what I was point that out. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's, because, maximum security prisons, it's just cameras never go out in schools. They never go out in banks. They never go out in the mall. They never go out, they never go out in places like that. They never go out in the courthouse. They never go out anywhere like that, but they always seem to go out there and on, the cameras that people wear sometimes on their chest. They go out at sometimes.
When remember at the Super Bowl we were seeing palm trees like this?
I do. And there's some more palm trees.
Something about CPAC because that's coming up. What, tomorrow? Starts tomorrow. And I saw who's the big hairy guy?
Sasquatch?
Oh
no. Captain Lou Albano?
No.
He's a big hairy guy.
No, I can't think of his name. Okay. I don't think I retweeted him either. Oh man, he's a guy that Trump endorsed, and he said, "I'm heading to Mar-a-Lago," and he tweeted out this morning. So I guess they're all headed to Florida for CPAC. Makes me wonder if there'll be something going on.
Yeah,
this weekend.
I don't know what to say. Captain Lou Albano.
No.
Oh, and George the Animal Steel. Leaders got it. George the Animal Steel. He was a hairy guy.
I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
Really?
I do not know who that is.
Do you know who Andre the Giant is at least?
I do know who Andre the Giant is.
Okay. He was like other people other than him. Like people who weren't as popular as him back in the day.
Well,
but super cool. Junkyard Dog. They had all these cool guys back in the day.
The Junkyard Dog.
The Junkyard Dog. He was
what is up with the Hulk Hogan?
I don't know. They're always posting something. It's kind of like they always used to post like they would just be like random things on the side of a video or the side of an article that says, why is Jennifer Aniston so sad today? Or like sad Jennifer Aniston.
Razzing him or something. Is he I'm thinking he's a bad guy or he did bad things and it's like his walk of shame or something.
It could be. No, I don't know actually. I mean, I would still maintain 99% of the people out there who, if you've heard their name and if they're wealthy, I don't believe, but a very small fraction of them have actually earned their way up and aren't part of some club or made some type of agreement, or I don't think so. I think that's just
Speaking of which, okay, that's one of the other things I wanted to talk about. And I know I sent you the video.
Dusty Roads.
I know you guys are cracking me up with these names. Are those names are those actual people, or you guys are making up those names?
They are names. They are old wrestlers from like the 80s, the late 80s.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Superfly Snuka. Remember Superfly Snuka? He was cool.
No, I don't remember that.
There was Superfly Snuka.
Okay, hold on. I sent you the one that said, that just said, what were we just talking about?
Superfly Snuka.
No. Oh my gosh.
Let's see. We went from the big guy who was at CPAP. I said CPAP, which is another thing.
Oh, dang it.
Greg the Hammer.
The rapper DMX.
Okay. Oh, that's what it was. Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Hold on. I got to send this back through to myself, and then I can show you guys this. Since we were talking about that, making the deals and all that. This is because this is part of the video that I was going to talk to you about today, but you haven't had a chance to look at it. I shared it on my Facebook. George News did a video and when we were talking earlier about, maybe it's not about being a patriot and the Constitution, it's about that the Constitution is our God-given rights. And then that George News video starts talking about aliens, and then it goes into, could aliens be demons? And they even have this dude on there from MUFON, which I'm going to have Ken Schwartz from Purple Power 360 or C60 on later. I've got him scheduled. I can't remember what day, but he's coming on in, I don't know, a week or two. And he used to be part of MUFON or in MUFON or associated with them. And
I thought he said he was the head of it at one point.
Maybe. I'm going to ask and find out. But there's this interview with this guy on the George News video where he says, and maybe I have it pulled up. I do. I wonder if I can find that part.
And by the way, aliens, yes, can be demons. And I got my friend, my friend, the Bible scholar, self-taught Bible scholar. He's just, if you mention aliens, he's right away. These are demons. These are demons. These are demons. They are the fallen angels. They are the ones. If you see them, they're the bad guys.
Like he says that he has over like 400 or 500 things where people would stopped alien abductions by just saying the name Jesus Christ.
Yes.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me see if this is it.
He said, he asked me point blank, have you read your Bible lately? And I wasn't quite sure where he was going with that. And I said, well, sir, I think I know what it says, but where are you going with this? And he said, well, then you would know that these things are demonic and we should not be pursuing them. Yeah. And
look at that guy's face.
He wasn't kidding. That's exactly how he felt.
So this is a Pentagon. This is a Department of Defense official saying, I'm looking at UFOs because they're demonic.
Correct.
There have been hundreds, if not thousands, of people who have escaped an alien abduction experience by saying the powerful name of Jesus Christ.
Each one of them said, yes, sir, we've come across cases like this ourselves where they've been able to stop it using prayer or Jesus' name. I said, excuse me, how come we have never seen this documented? You're telling us otherwise, that it can't be done, it can't be stopped. First answer they usually gave us, we didn't know what to make of it. I would have been fine with that. The second answer is what puzzled me and got me kind of angry. Because it was that one that I want you to hear for sure. They said we couldn't go there because it might affect our credibility in the realm.
Anyway, I thought that was incredible. So I shared that video with my patrons. And then I found these, disclosed videos, which I shared the part 1 and part 2 also with my patrons. So if you guys aren't on my Patreon, you might consider it. I find some good stuff. But I definitely want to talk to Ken Schwartz about that, because it kind of goes hand in hand with this, arising, awakening, awareness. If it's like they've used this law and telling people they're under the law to dumb us down. And if we're free from that, if you think about it, Jesus came to free us from the law.
Yes. And the banks.
Yeah, all of that stuff. If we're free from the law, the rule, the legal, because we are of God and we understand that and we have that awakening, enlightenment, awareness, then we truly are free. And then we're looking out for each other. And, then you do have kind of that Nasera Jacera thing, because your neighbor is your brother and your sister and your community. And
Nancy Icenan just had a good comment a little while ago, but I completely agree. Maybe this is why was it you that was last night talking about the whole Britney conservatorship?
Yes.
And it was making me think when you were saying that with Amy, which, by the way, great show last night. Amy was on fire.
Thanks.
So what if, okay, I kind of believe that we have all been put under a conservatorship since the day we were born. It starts with our birth certificates, and our birth certificates with the all caps thing. And that's not us. That's the straw man us, and the life insurance policies that are taken out that are held in supposedly in the Bank of London or the Bank of Nevada.
That's all those words that Jesus came to free us from.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So what if this whole conservatorship, because like you said, why is she being asked to speak in Congress? Like what does that have to do with anything that they would be, and why would they care? Why would they care at all? Maybe once we take back all of that and take back our $10 million life insurance policies that are put in our names the day we're born and collect, crazy interest on ever since, and then they're traded around. I don't know if you ever did the thing. I'm not totally unprepared for that, but there's a website where you can go and you can put in your name and your birth certificate and the number on your birth certificate. Some of them have for your social security number, and you can see what parts of what funds your name and your birth certificate is part of, who's owned them, who's trading them, who's holding them now. There's paper records of these things. Maybe we'd have to ask Rice Crypto about Rice TVX about that.
Yeah, he knows all about that stuff.
Yeah, and he was putting on these websites one time, and it was legit. I pulled out my old paper copy of my birth certificate. I learned that I had there's two kinds of birth certificates. There's the original one that's from the hospital, and then it gets changed once it goes to the town, and then possibly it gets changed again once it gets forwarded up to the state. So depending on which one of these birth certificates you have, your numbers can be checked, and it's very interesting. This is
so she was invited by Charlie Crist and Eric Swalwell. That's strange. So she got a letter. She shared the letter she received from two members of the U.S. House Representatives inviting her to Congress to talk about her long-running legal battle over her conservatorship that ended with victory in November. I was immediately flattered, and at the time, I wasn't nearly healing at the healing stage I am now. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm grateful that my story was acknowledged because of the letter. I felt like I was heard and mattered for the first time in my life. In a world where your own family goes against you, it's actually hard to find people that get it and show empathy. The letter conveyed Kristen Swalwell's congratulations to Spears and her attorney, Matthew Rosengart, for winning the case that ended the conservatorship of the singer's affairs, which lasted 14 years and was mostly under the direction of her father, Jamie. So blah, blah, blah. The House of Representatives said that you were troubled for years. You were unable to hire your own counsel to represent your personal and financial interests, among other issues. So think about that. Unable to hire your own counsel to represent your own personal and financial interests. Think about what we aren't able to do.
Claire, can you close that window, please? Getting cold.
Let's see. Oh, I bet. To speak about your empowering story and learn more of the emotional and financial turmoil you faced within the conservatorship system. She wants to help others in vulnerable situations and take life by the balls and be brave. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. But why?
She's threatened legal action against her sister for a tell-all book. And is potentially lawful and unlawful and defamatory. And in January, she made new allegations of financial impropriety against her father in response to assistance that she pay his legal bills. Interesting. I don't know. That just kind of clicked in my head that maybe that is to teach us that we are in an abusive conservatorship. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Same thing.
Same thing. Same.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, what else could it mean? Again, I don't put anything past anything as being real anymore. And you're kind of crazy if the weirdest things in the world, you just kind of got to go with it and see where it goes, see where it plays out. We've been trained for a long time not to, to look there when they're doing this over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just want to make sure I peek at the chat before we leave.
Yeah.
Hi to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. For sure. Litecoin Girl and Ronnie and Glasswalker, Trini, Gazoo, Tom, Nancy, Charlie G, Chris Rowell, Doyle, Jim Montgomery. Oh, Public Awakening's in the chat.
Goodness.
I know Nana was in here earlier.
Mm-hmm. Nana was in there earlier. Glass FX. I don't know if you said that one.
Yes, Glass FX and Glasswalker. Glasswalker is my friend that does the cartoon puppet that he did. My one where I made the silly face and
no, that's cool.
All that, yeah. You never know. Be careful what you're going to say.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's somebody new in the chat. H Ahayan, but they know Litecoin Girl, so it must be some good people.
Very cool. I'm reading here. Glass FX said I bought a case of Heineken yesterday and a bottle of bourbon. It was $100.
Wow.
And I think Tom wrote earlier he bought a bag of fish or fish food or something. Normally it was $12. Now it's $19 for the same thing. Or maybe feeders or something like that.
Remember when you told me we were meat millionaires? I showed you the picture of our freezer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're meat millionaires. Like you got like a Lambo sitting in your freezer right now. That's for real.
That was so funny. So my husband went to the store where, we've been buying as we've been, rotating our stock. I'll go buy boneless, skinless, organic chicken breast with no antibiotic from the butcher. And I order it at 100 pounds at a time. But I have to order it from him. And then he has his guys. So they order it and then they trim it all and package it for me and all this. And so now I've had Charlie start doing it. Well, the first time I did it, the guy was like, well, when do you eat this? And I was like, before the price goes up. He's like, okay, lady, and this was like early COVID or, he thought I was nuts. Well, now, so it went from $2.99 a pound. Then I think, I don't know, probably the last time we bought, it was $3.99 a pound. And then this last time Charlie went to go pick up and it was $6.99 a pound. And Charlie's like, oh, no, man. Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
No. So
Wow.
the butcher's now working a side gig, making websites. So he's working on my website, and we got a really good deal on the chicken as well.
Awesome.
It worked out for everyone. But
at some point, it's going to be cheaper just to raise your own chickens. I'm telling you, because it's about a year and a half ago, I noticed I was spending a lot of money on groceries for the week for the girls and I.
mm-hmm.
And it was actually cheaper for us to go out and get a meal than it was for me to buy the food to make the meal and spend the time come home and cooking it. And it's still that way now. The restaurant prices around here, the takeout,
So they haven't adjusted their prices
they
yet.
haven't really adjusted so much at all. No, but
That's gonna hurt small businesses. This is so my hairdresser and I were
Mhm.
talking, and she's like, I feel so bad, because I made an appointment, and she's like, I feel so bad, but I have to put my prices up again, and I know I just did the last time you were here. And I said, girl, the inflation is happening that fast. I get it.
Mhm.
And she's like, I go to buy supplies, and every time I go, they're up. She goes, so if I don't raise my prices, I just took a hit
Yeah.
in my business. And I said, I understand, it's okay. And so if these small businesses are not raising their price as fast as inflation is raising,
You're
they're
losing.
going to go out of business.
Yep. We're starting to see, maybe not so much the restaurants and the food places going out of business yet, but we're seeing them not as sparkly and nice as they used to be. We're starting to see that. I think that declined so far.
We're seeing like less extras, like you have to pay for extra sides of stuff now.
Yeah.
And where they would have just brought you extra sides of this or that, and now they're like, there'll be an upcharge on that.
Yeah. There's charges. There's extra charges on everything now, especially if you use one of the delivery apps. I mean, those are out of control at this point.
Oh, we don't. Yeah,
I
hardly eat out, but we
twice.
never do that stuff.
Yeah. No, it's still see, I don't think we've ever had the opportunity to get $2.99 organic chicken here. That's like unheard of. So like, I think the average is going to be $6 or $7 already. I mean, normal prices in the store. Well, yeah, there's not, organic are here, for a long time. It's a little more common now, but for a long time, that was considered like luxury foods. It's like, you eat organic. Why pay all the extra money? Well, I like living,
Yeah.
I like staying alive.
Yeah. I like
and
to not have a bunch of poison in my body.
Yeah. Yeah. In the long run, who knows? No, I think I got just about everything. Yeah. The aliens though, the aliens are the demons. I don't know, because I have my own theories on it, that it could be interdimensional stuff or whatever, but I've heard from
or that, yes, it is both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's just that we put these labels or words on. I think it's so strange that somebody's okay with calling it an alien, but calling it a demon freaks them out. Like,
right.
Why is one less or more believable than the other? Demons are written about in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why one would be more or less believable than the other.
They're all the fallen angels, supposedly, and saying the Lord's name, saying Jesus Christ, invoking Jesus's name. I've heard that for quite some time. Not just aliens, just demons in general. Any demons, if you speak their name, there's a rule or an unspoken rule when you go into the Vatican, when you go into the underground tunnels where they have all their parties down there and stuff, you're not allowed to say that name. And there's also, I don't know whether we spoke about it here one time or something else. There's underground bases where you're not allowed to say the name Jesus Christ because it pisses off the locals or something really bad. Yeah. Yep. There's an Antarctica stuff. I believe there was something like that where you're forbidden from invoking the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I know, as a little girl, my mom would tell us, like, if you woke up and had a bad dream, all you had to do was surround yourself in white light and say Jesus's name, and they can't even come near you.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Some people did.
than the power that a little girl had with that knowledge. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
And there's, what's the difference today from a dream from reality? You
Yeah.
know, they call it the American dream because you got to be asleep to believe it.
There
I love
you
that
go.
one.
That's a good one.
Mm.
That's a good one. That's
I think
a
it's
good
a
one.
George Carlin. I'm not sure, but that's a good one.
Definitely. Well, I don't know. We're gonna keep moving on, but I love the idea of us all coming together, and that to me goes hand in hand with Daddy Trump's USMCA.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't start dancing and singing, or you can dance but no singing. But
I hummed. Is humming okay now?
I don't know. I get in trouble for all that.
And we're looking forward to Truth Social possibly soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think everybody's on the list. So.
Yeah.
I did
Hopefully
see,
we'll get the Android version out.
I did see Il Donaldo Trumpo tweeted out, should I just buy Twitter? And a lot of people said yes, because they're already on it. So we'll see. Maybe that would work too, but it'd be interesting. But
well, no one would have ever thought he would have been getting barrels of oil for 28 cents or whatever. So maybe he can get Twitter for 28 cents a share. Who knows?
Yeah.
When he filled up the strategic oil reserves, nobody thought
that was negative. No, it was.
Oh yeah, they paid us to take it.
They paid us. Yeah.
So maybe he's got another trick up his sleeves like that to get some the social media, or who knows?
I would believe anything. Yeah, I would believe anything. So we'll see. All right, you guys take care. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Please check out all my links below. You'll find a link to TPA's website where you can find more information, how to contact him and all of his resources, as well as a link to my Patreon where you can find all those videos that I was talking to you about as I find it. Lots of good stuff, as well as ways to contact me and connect. So we will see you guys tomorrow with Johnny Litecoin. I think we're going to talk about DeFi some more. I've got some more questions for him now that I've been playing around on it for a little while. Got to keep learning.
Can't stop learning. You cannot stop, because then you sit in a chair twiddling your thumbs with your crayons and your helmet on, and that's just not good.
That sounds good. Not good. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.